Good morning students, here we come up with the gross anatomy, the continuation of the lecture of posterior triangle. Now here, contents of posterior triangle. We have divided the posterior triangle in the last lecture into two segments, upper occipital triangle and lower supraclavicular or subclavian triangle by inferior belly of omohyoid. So this inferior belly of omohyoid is dividing the posterior triangle into two major triangles. So today we are going to discuss as the contents of posterior triangle, occipital triangle. So therefore, these triangles, as I mentioned, now here I have written this is occipital triangle. They are very interesting triangles. So therefore, immediately we start with, first, this is the trapezius muscle. Please draw the trapezius muscle. So here we are just drawing the trapezius muscle, and please draw certain fibers. These are the fibers of trapezius. In this way we show the trapezius. Next muscle we are going to draw will be sternocleidomastoid muscle. So here we are going to show the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Please draw this sternocleidomastoid where you show these are the fibers of sternocleidomastoid. So therefore, our triangle is limited to anteriorly, this occipital triangle will be having the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid. Boundaries of occipital triangle, anteriorly, posterior border of sternocleidomastoid. So here, sternocleidomastoid muscle. Posteriorly, now here we will write this as trapezius. This will be, or else I will write at the upper level, I will draw. So this will be trapezius muscle. Now posteriorly, there will be the anterior border of trapezius, which I am darkening. So this is the triangle. Once again I repeat, anteriorly posterior border of sternocleidomastoid and posteriorly anterior border of trapezius. Inferiorly, very important, inferiorly will be, there will be this belly of omohyoid. So inferiorly is the belly of omohyoid, or else more oblique. We will draw this more oblique. So this is the inferior belly of omohyoid, and we will put some color inside where we show this as the inferior belly of omohyoid, inferiorly. So therefore our triangle, occipital triangle, is complete where I am keeping my hand. So inferiorly, inferior belly of omohyoid. Here we will mark this as inferior belly of omohyoid. So it is very clear, the boundaries are very clear. Now we fill up this triangle. See how interesting it is. Floor of the occipital triangle. The floor consists of, from superior to inferior, keep on drawing, keep on filling, it becomes very easy. So this way we understand anatomy. The first will be, if I just, here we will unite this trapezius with sternocleidomastoid. And now at the apex, where my finger is there, I am going to show the floor. Now here for the floor I will use different color. So what I will use is green color for the floor, where I will draw the muscles from superior to inferior. Vertical fibers of splenius capitis. So please draw these vertical fibers of splenius capitis muscle. Not splenius, semispinalis capitis. I am sorry, semispinalis capitis. So please draw this semispinalis capitis. So here we go with first semispinalis capitis muscle. This is the first. I will put number 1. This is how we will remember. They are vertical fibers. Semispinalis capitis. Below that will be splenius capitis. So below that we will draw here. Now these fibers are directed downwards and obliquely backwards. These fibers are directed downwards, obliquely and backwards. So here we are drawing this muscle, and this muscle will be known as number 2. So it will be known as splenius capitis. First is semispinalis capitis, second is splenius capitis. Third muscle. Now this third muscle also the direction of fibers will be obliquely downwards and backwards. Obliquely downwards and backwards. So this muscle will be known as levator scapulae. So therefore here we are going to draw this muscle and show that this is levator scapulae number 3. So here goes number 3, levator scapulae muscle. Remember, this is the floor of the occipital triangle which we are drawing. From above to down, semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, levator scapulae. Then comes scalenus posterior. So therefore we are going to draw the scalenus posterior muscle. This scalenus posterior muscle we are going to draw in this way. This is scalenus posterior here, and we are going to mark this muscle as number 4, scalenus posterior. And we are going to draw below the scalenus posterior, scalenus medius muscle. This scalenus medius we are going to draw in this way, where we are going to show that this is the last muscle in the floor of posterior triangle. So therefore here these are some of the fibers, scalenus medius, and therefore here we are going to mark here, draw an arrow from there and write down the 5th muscle, scalenus medius. These are the 5 muscles which will form the floor of occipital triangle from above to down. Semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, then levator scapulae, and then after levator scapulae there will be the scalenus posterior muscle, and below the scalenus posterior, scalenus medius muscle. 5 muscles forming the floor of occipital triangle. Here you have to note down that the fibers of semispinalis capitis will be vertical and the remaining fibers are directed downwards, obliquely and backwards. And the last muscle, which was scalenus anterior, will form the floor of the lower triangle. Probably we are not going to discuss that lower triangle today, that is subclavian or supraclavicular triangle. So here there will be the floor. If I complete, this will lead to this muscle which is known as the scalenus anterior muscle. So this will be scalenus anterior, which we are not drawing because it is not within the occipital triangle. So please note down the 5 muscles: semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, levator scapulae, scalenus posterior and scalenus medius. This forms the floor of the occipital triangle. That is what you have to write down, you have to note down. And these entire muscles are covered by prevertebral fascia. Please note down, very important point. Prevertebral fascia will cover the entire floor of occipital triangle, prevertebral fascia. Now comes the most important part. So here, please come on this side. So I will just mention the points. First, boundaries, which we have discussed, of the occipital triangle. Second will be the floor of occipital triangle, which we have discussed. And in the floor you have to mention covered by prevertebral fascia. So the floor is covered by prevertebral fascia. And the last point is contents. Very important. Now the contents. Slowly we are going to fill the contents. This is how we will remember. It is very easy. So here, please come here in this direction. Here we are going to fill the contents. Content number 1, spinal part of accessory nerve. This nerve will exit, not exit, but it will enter the triangle from middle of posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. So from the middle of posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, where my finger is there, it will enter the triangle. It will be plastered to the roof of the triangle. And what is the roof of triangle? Which fascia forms the roof of this triangle? Investing layer of deep cervical fascia. So this nerve is lying just beneath the investing layer of deep cervical fascia, and then it will travel directly down as a content of this occipital triangle and will pass deep to anterior border of trapezius muscle. Direction will be downwards obliquely, and exactly the level will be on levator scapulae muscle. So where is our levator scapulae? This is our levator scapulae muscle. So the nerve will be directed in this direction. Please draw this. So this nerve is our here. we are going to write here the spinal part of accessory nerve. Spinal part of accessory nerve. And in Roman numericals, we mention it like this. This is the spinal part of 11th cranial nerve, accessory nerve. So try and understand the course as I have explained it to you. It is lying beneath the investing layer of deep cervical fascia, which forms the roof of the posterior triangle, and this nerve is visible right from the middle of the posterior part of sternocleidomastoid on levator scapulae, and it will pass beneath the trapezius muscle. What will it supply? Trapezius muscle. It supplies the spinal part of accessory nerve and along with trapezius sternocleidomastoid muscle. Now this nerve, try and understand, is very important since it is lying more towards the roof. More towards the roof. Although it is a content of occipital triangle, but it is lying just beneath the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. So any operative procedures which are done here, whenever any incision is given in this region for removal of certain pathological structures, care should be taken by the surgeon who is giving the incision here not to damage spinal part of accessory nerve, because this nerve is liable to be damaged during any incisions given during any surgical procedure in this region, since this nerve is lying more towards the roof portion. Second content now. This is the first content, so we need to write down here. This is the first content. Here I'll write down. Second content, just beneath the spinal part of accessory nerve, there are two nerves. That is branches from C3, C4. The name itself is branches of C3, C4, which will run parallel beneath the spinal part of accessory nerve. So here I'll draw 1 and 2. Please draw in this direction. This is 1 and this is 2. So therefore here we will mention number 2, that is branches of C3 and C4. So these are the branches of C3 and C4, and these nerves will pass just parallel to the spinal part of accessory nerve, beneath the spinal part of accessory nerve, but these nerves are lying beneath the prevertebral fascia. They are lying just beneath the prevertebral fascia, that means in the floor. They are the contents of occipital triangle only, but they are lying beneath the prevertebral fascia. And these nerves, C3 and C4, they will supply levator scapulae as well as trapezius. They will supply the levator scapulae muscle as well as trapezius. So they are lying just above the levator scapulae, and they will pass beneath the trapezius, beneath the anterior border of trapezius. So please note down C3, C4 nerves. They will supply the levator scapulae and trapezius, and the course will be just beneath the accessory spinal part of accessory nerve. Then comes third content. Now third content is dorsal scapular nerve. How to draw the dorsal scapular nerve? It will pierce the scalenus medius. This is the scalenus here. If you see, this is the scalenus medius muscle. So it will pierce the scalenus medius and enter the occipital triangle. Which nerve? Dorsal scapular nerve. What it will carry? It will carry the fibers of C4. It will carry the fibers of C4. So it is going to pierce scalenus medius. After piercing, it will curve around posteriorly, and again it will pass beneath the levator scapulae muscle. So beneath the levator scapulae, it will pass deep to the levator scapulae muscle. But the course will be, after piercing scalenus medius, it will curve around posteriorly, downwards, backwards, and beneath the levator scapulae. Deep to levator scapulae, it will supply the rhomboids. Therefore, the name of this nerve is dorsal scapular nerve. So here, content number 3 will be dorsal scapular nerve. What it will carry? It will carry the fibers of C4. So this supplies rhomboids. Dorsal scapular nerve will supply rhomboids. Piercing, after piercing scalenus medius, it has appeared in the occipital triangle. This is content number 3. Now content number 4, very simple, 4 different lines you have to draw, which we have discussed. In the previous segments, we have discussed the superficial branches of cervical plexus, which was forming the roof of the posterior triangle. Those superficial branches of cervical plexus which forms the floor, the roof of the posterior triangle, we have to draw, and they will exactly enter this occipital triangle at the middle of the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, middle of posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, and first nerve, it will hook around the spinal part of accessory nerve, and then it will pass upwards. This nerve will be known as the lesser occipital nerve. So therefore, this nerve first is the lesser occipital nerve, fibers of C2. So therefore, we are going to mark down here, this will be lesser occipital nerve, that is the fibers of C2. Second nerve, which will travel across the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So this nerve will travel across the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which will be known as the greater auricular nerve, fibers of C2, C3. So this is C2, C3 fibers. Remember, these structures we have already discussed. We need to just draw these structures. The lesser occipital will travel just behind the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, ascend vertically upwards, backwards. The greater auricular will travel on the sternocleidomastoid muscle along with external jugular vein. Then comes the transverse cervical, which will pass across the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and therefore here we will mention this as, here I'll put an arrow and mention this as transverse cervical nerve having roots C2, C3. And after that we are going to draw supraclavicular nerves. These supraclavicular nerves, we know that they are directed in this direction, supraclavicular nerves. So this is what we draw, supraclavicular nerves, which we have discussed. So therefore, we are going to draw supraclavicular nerves. Now these four nerves will form content number 4. Content number 4 are by these four nerves. So we are going to write down, this is content number 4, including lesser occipital, greater auricular, transverse cervical, supraclavicular. Content number 4. Now comes content number 5. In the content number 5, upper chord of brachial plexus C5 and C6, carrying the roots of C5, C6, upper chord of brachial plexus will have a slight peep in the occipital triangle between inferior belly of omohyoid and scalenus medius muscle. This is scalenus medius muscle and this is inferior belly of omohyoid. Just in between, it will just curve around and it will peep in the occipital triangle. Content number 5, that is upper chord of brachial plexus. So therefore here we show it in this way. This is the upper chord of brachial plexus, and here we will write this as content number 5, the upper chord of brachial plexus C5, C6. And remember, this chord is vulnerable in injury, so it is known as Urb's point. So this is the C5, C6, which is peeping in the occipital triangle between inferior belly of omohyoid and scalenus medius muscle, C5, C6, content number 5. Then we come across to content number 6 coming up in the next segment. 4. So therefore, in content number 6, superficial, it is known as the superficial cervical artery. So this superficial cervical artery will pass upwards, backwards, and will pass deep to trapezius. Superficial cervical. It will pass in the occipital triangle, but it will pass deep to the trapezius, deep to anterior margin of trapezius. This is the course of the superficial cervical artery. So therefore here we are going to mark this as content number 6, superficial cervical artery. Now here you have to mention some 2 points about superficial cervical artery regarding the course passing through the occipital triangle, and it will enter the deep portion of the anterior margin of trapezius. It is a branch of thyrocervical trunk of subclavian artery. It is a branch of thyrocervical trunk of subclavian artery. As it passes deep to the trapezius, Here it will anastomose with the descending branch coming from the occipital artery. So this is superficial cervical artery, content number 6. And the last content number 7, very interesting. Come to the apex. Apex is formed by which muscle in the floor of the occipital triangle? Where my finger is pointing? Semispinalis capitis. So semispinalis capitis, here we draw one artery, and this artery slightly tortuous we draw, and this artery which we draw here, it will be slightly tortuous. It is known as the occipital artery at the apex of the occipital triangle on the semispinalis capitis. So therefore, here we will mention this as content number 7, occipital artery, which is very tortuous. It is present in the on the semispinalis muscle, semispinalis capitis muscle at the apex. Will travel upwards, backwards on the skull, posterior part of the skull. It is very tortuous. Content number 7, occipital artery. So here we have finished all the contents. Once again, I am going to revise the contents very simple way. Number 1, content number 1, spinal part of accessory nerve. Content number 2, branches of C3, C4. Content number 3, dorsal scapular nerve, that is branch 2 rhomboids. Content number 4, the 4 superficial branches of cervical plexus which we have drawn, that is lesser occipital, greater auricular, transverse cervical and supraclavicular. Content number 5, that is the upper chord of brachial plexus constituted by C5, C6. It will just peep in this triangle between the inferior veliofomoid and scalenus medius muscle. Content number 6, superficial cervical artery, and content number 7, occipital artery. So here we finish the occipital triangle. Thank you very much.